Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County. I'm Commissioner Director Tom Arnone here, and I'm honored today and joined by Chip Craig, Associate Executive Director and Chief Business Officer of Interfaith Neighbors, and a very good friend of mine. How you doing, Chip?
Commissioner Arnone, I'm doing great today.
Great. So listen, the nonprofits are a backbone of the county. I've said that to you and so many others for so long. And you know, Interfaith Neighbors is one that's known, Monmouth County, the whole widespread of Monmouth County, because all the great things you do in Monmouth County. So how did Interfaith, how did it get started? And I know you do a lot for the homeless there. Can you touch a little bit on that?
Sure. Well, how we got started is a very interesting story. It goes back 35 years. That's when Interfaith really started. Wow. 35 years ago here in Monmouth County, a number of faith-based organizations, temples, parishes, Protestant churches got together and were addressing the issue of homelessness. Wow. And they were all doing their own set of projects to help, but they ultimately came together and said they thought they could do a whole lot better if they came together as one organization. And from that, the original 7 joined into a nonprofit organization called Interfaith Neighbors. And from that point, homeless prevention has been part of our work. The county has supported us considerably over those 34 years to keep us in that program. And really our work in homeless prevention goes to rental and mortgage assistance. So this is a program.
Do a fine job.
It's one of those programs where folks in the county need to understand how much the county has supported this situation. And what it really addresses is folks who have really run into a difficult time, hardworking folks in a home or rental situation, and we try to keep them in that situation to get through that hard time. So we service between 300 to 500 families a year. During the pandemic, it exploded to twice that number.
Wow. And I know that, there's so many different areas. People realize, obviously, that's the main focus of Interfaith Neighbors, but there's so many other branches that you guys hear, like the meal services program. Can you touch a little bit about how many meals you put out, and that people have no idea that service that you are really giving people the ability to eat?
Well, that is sort of our the largest program of Interfaith Neighbors. It's called the Meals on Wheels program, but it's the Monmouth County Senior Nutrition Program. So we exist in that program because of the county funding that comes through to us for senior, homebound, and congregate nutrition. This is a program where we have 1,000 meals out to homebound seniors every day. And a lot of folks don't understand that is what the Meals on Wheels program in Monmouth County entails. 1,000 meals out to homebound seniors every single day. We also service 6 to 7 senior sites across Monmouth County where there's congregate settings, folks can come together. The thing about the Meals on Wheels program that's so significant and the support that we've had over the years from federal money and the county money, frankly, and donors to Interfaith Neighbors, is that our folks going to those doors are probably the only person that homebound senior sees through the week.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
In many of those circumstances, that's the only person they see.
Well, I know that you guys are always increasing the services, and I know that you have some other initiatives, and one that you could touch a little bit about is the launch program there that I'm actually not even that familiar with there.
Well, it's somewhat new. It's an outgrowth to workforce development that we've been doing for 8 or 9 years in Monmouth County, and it's a program that's open to all Monmouth County residents. It takes a little bit of explaining. The Launch Center program, we really try to meet folks where they are in their pursuit of career development. And when we say career development, we're talking about folks who are looking to get into careers that don't necessarily need a college education. There's a lot of programs today where certification, whether it's in medical, whether it's in solar, whether it's in CDL, driver licensing, we try to meet folks who are trying to better their lives and through employment. And to get them into a program of ours that is pretty significant in terms of skill, development, and then helping them break the barrier that is holding them back from developing that career. For instance, Many of the folks we deal with in that program don't have child care, so they can't really get into a program like this. We'll try to find the child care and pay for the child care for them. So it's a program for all of Monmouth County. It's based in Asbury Park at the Launch Center on Springwood Avenue.
Well, let me know. We could touch on it after this segment, but let me know if there's any ability for us to be somewhat to take a look at that, because we are having a tough time with employment right now, the county, and we're looking for CDL drivers and all those individuals. So maybe we could touch base on it at another time to see if there's anything that we could partner with.
Sure.
So we all came through COVID-19, and it was difficult for us. It was very difficult for the nonprofits because just the difficulty and complexity of just structuring things. I'm hoping, and it was our initiative, the county, were we able to help the nonprofits and obviously Interfaith in particular? Were we able to assist you guys there through that process?
Well, again, the two programs I touched on already, the homeless prevention and the Meals on Wheels program, both of those programs became urgent programs for the county during the pandemic. And as I mentioned, in the homeless prevention program, our numbers exploded. It was twice as many families we were called on to support. We couldn't have done it without additional assistance that the county was able to give us. Where that was coming from, the county had funds, whether it was from federal funding, but we were able to get allocated funds to keep folks in homes. Sadly, many folks were in motels, but we were able to keep them at least with a roof over their head during the pandemic. The food distribution moved from congregate sites to more people at home. So our 1,000 meals a day developed into like 1,300. We were going to motels delivering meals. Couldn't have done any of that without the additional resources that the county was able to bring.
Great. Well, on the last thing, I just want you to touch real quickly on, because it's one of my favorite, Kula Farms there. Then we'll wrap this up. Can you just tell people exactly about that? Because it's real special.
It is special, Commissioner Arnaud. I'm glad you mentioned it, because if folks are ever in around Asbury, it's probably the most unique part of our work. We have a very comprehensive neighborhood revitalization program in the west side of Asbury Park, and the Kula Urban Farm is special. We have hydroponic farming there. We have a farm without borders. It's on the west side of Asbury Park. It's a community-oriented. A lot of learning goes on there. A lot of nutrition and wellness development goes on for folks. But with all the programs we've been able to initiate over the years, that's one that's about as unique as any.
Terrific. So, I know that I want to thank on behalf of you and your whole organization there, because truly you make our life so much easier, and you reach out to a bigger amount of individuals that we could ever reach to. And plus, the word fits well, interfaith. They have faith in you there. And, and that's a big thing with people. So I want to thank you. I want to thank all your volunteers, your organization, and I know that you're very accessible to be able to reach out to there and for any information. And we're very, very fortunate that I think you said 30-something years ago this organization was created, but it's all the people that came up there and really brought it to what it is today, which has expanded largely.
And the support of the community, the county, and our volunteers, you're right, that's what's been able to make this work so well for 34 years.
Well, Chip, thank you very much for being part of this show. This is great information to the people, and it's something that people have to realize. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of help going on behind the scenes, and at the end of the day, people might not know it, but as long as it's getting done, that's what the important initiative is. Right. So that's all we have for this segment of Monmouth in Focus, and I'll see you next time.
Planning a large-scale event or conference? Consider Brookdale Community College and its versatile Collins Arena. The Collins Arena is the premier venue for all kinds of corporate and community events, live concerts and celebrity happenings, trade shows and expositions, sporting events and tournaments. The Collins Arena has countless layout options to meet your needs. Bring your next event to life at the Collins Arena at Brookdale Community College. Go to brookdalecc.edu/events and start planning your next event now.
Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm Commissioner Director Tom Arnone, your host for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. We are in the middle of the hurricane season, and although New Jersey was spared from the Mother Nature's wrath so far, it's always important to plan, prepare, and stay informed. Joining me now is Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden, whose agency runs the Monmouth County Office of Emergency Management. Welcome, Sean.
Director, thanks for having me.
Good. I want to thank you. I know there's so many different times of the year that we have to talk about very, very important initiatives, and this is probably one of the most because people have to be prepared. It makes your life easy. It makes the emergency service easier to be able to function, and more importantly, it keeps people safe, and you do a great job doing that. So I know that you have put a lot of different initiatives in to all the different groups. Maybe you could touch a little bit on some of those initiatives there.
So first, Director, thanks for all your support for our first responders and emergency management personnel out there. And, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of Superstorm Sandy here in Monmouth County. So that milestone, along with the September Hurricane Preparedness Month, should remind our residents about preparedness. Listen, we always say plan, prepare, stay informed. That's our motto for our residents here in Monmouth County. And FEMA puts on Hurricane Preparedness Months every September so that people are aware of these potential storms that can come up, whether in our case it's a nor'easter or just a severe weather event or a threat of a Class 1 hurricane. All of that should be taken into account, and you should have that Sandy picture in the back of your mind as you look at your family and your businesses, and say, hey, are we prepared for another event like that? We had one of the best in the business, Mike Opegart, as our OEM coordinator. You were there the whole time, as well as the county administrator and the other county commissioners supporting the emergency management response. But when the response is over, we have to begin a new set of planning and mitigation for any future events. And that's where Mike Opegard, along with his team and our emergency management team, worked together and put in several really good programs over the past couple of years. One is Know Your Zone. You'll see in neighborhoods, particularly along our rivers and waterways in Monmouth County, a Know Your Zone sign. You were at the ribbon cutting when we launched the first one. It's modeled after Florida, but it's the first of its kind in the state of New Jersey, and it's Zone A, B, C, or D. You can go to Monmouth County Sheriff's Office website, mcsonj.org, and click in Know Your Zone, punch in your address, or we built an app for your mobile phone, same thing. You can download the Sheriff's application, and Know Your Zone information is on there. More importantly, you can punch in your address, and you'll know exactly what zone you're in. And why that's important is we had a lot of questions, as you know, about, are we in an evacuation zone?
Exactly.
And now we know. That's what Know Your Zone is all about. If we call on Zone A to evacuate, you know you're in Zone A based on your address and that GIS map.
And I know you've done some special programs for the seniors, too.
Well, the storm program was, again, after Sandy, our most vulnerable population, and the one we worry about the most during storms is our seniors, right? Are they prepared? Do they have the items necessary? Do they have the contact information necessary? And so that was STORM. It's an acronym. Again, this is one of a kind, first of its kind in New Jersey, created by Mike Opegard and his staff, and it's seniors taking on readiness measures. Very clever.
It really is. I didn't realize that.
And we go out and educate the seniors, and for the reward of education, they fill out a preparedness form for themselves, medications, doctors, prescriptions, any emergency contact information. When they fill all that out, it's like homework. When they fill all that out after a class, they get a preparedness kit. And in that kit, it's something that you would find on ready.gov. Flashlight, portable radio blankets, a pill holder for prescriptions, water bottles, all of those kind of things, batteries, all those kind of things you would need in case of emergency, so that our seniors are prepared, and when we call on them to evacuate or to move somewhere or relocate, they're ready.
So that's interesting that you said that, being prepared, because, I mean, just being a layperson out there, when a storm comes, everybody wants to prepare and have everything in their home. And when you go to all the supermarkets the day before the storm, they're packed. You can't even get in. But maybe what are some of the things that people and residents can get
like months before a storm,
Sure,
so they
yeah.
could be prepared.
Well, as you know, and ready.gov is a great website. You can go to ready.gov and it has the personal planning on there, and all of those items are listed that we would expect. And it's what you would expect: a portable radio, batteries, chargers for your phones, a little bit of money you should have in case you can't get to the bank, the list of your prescription medications, gloves, masks, protective, items like that, and more importantly, you should have all of that emergency contact information written down so that if you are asked to come to a shelter or you're asked to relocate, our emergency management personnel around the county has that available to them so they can help you better. And if we have a prepared person, we know that we can successfully relocate them or manage their evacuation needs and shelter needs.
So you came out with a great announcement just recently, the Register Ready program, and talk a little bit about that. These are
Sure.
all benefits to our county.
Register Ready, again, is aimed at seniors and special needs individuals or people that
very
need
important.
medical attention, that need specific and special attention by our township OEM coordinators out there or by our first responders. And so if they're in a wheelchair, or they're on oxygen, or they're on certain medications, or they're not mobile somehow, Register Ready is the place where we want them to register their names so that it has a whole list for our emergency management team, and we can focus on those individuals. And the milestone is we're the #1 participant in the state Registered Ready program here in Monmouth County. So we have the most Register Ready participants out of
That's
any
great.
county in the state of New Jersey. And that's how we know our residents are taking heed of the preparedness message and be ready to go.
So, I know firsthand, and I was with you during Sandy, during Irene, some of the other tropical storms that occurred there, and your hands-on approach and your staff's professionalism and compassion, because it is usually a compassion time of the year, I think stands out over any other county. So if you can, on behalf of the fellow commissioners, because we so much appreciate it, because obviously if things are safe here, they make our life a lot easier too. But we are very confident, and we're very fortunate here in Monmouth County to have you at the helm there running this program, and your great staff that you have there. So please continue the great work.
Sure.
Thank you for always taking care of and keeping Monmouth County safe. And let's hope that it's just being a little proactive and we don't have to be reactive.
Yeah, and proactive is the key there. You can download our app for the Sheriff's Office. We'll have all that information about preparedness and protection, not only just for your personal needs, but your businesses as well. So everybody stay safe out there.
Thank you, Sheriff. It's great having
Thank
you,
you,
and
Director.
looking forward to talking on some of the great initiatives that the Sheriff's Office has. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We will, again, be back for some more segments here, always trying to keep our people here in Monmouth County and our residents here in Monmouth County informed. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you at the next segment.
We're extremely excited about this past year. It was a very successful year. And we have already seen revenue of over $29 million reported in beach revenue in our county. That is up basically 5% from last year. So that was our ultimate goal when we hit Sandy, to increasingly rise over the course of the years to meet where we were before and now surpass where we are now. And we're extremely happy. And I would like now to invite the mayor here of Wall Township, Kevin Orender.
Thank you, Tom. I'd like to thank the Monmouth County Commissioners for their efforts in making this a great county to live in. Yes, we had a great summer. It was just great to see everybody out and enjoying themselves. I don't know whether it's due to COVID that everybody wanted to stay local, but I'm glad they stayed local. You have a place like Alea Community Farms, who just gives so much to the community, and all their supporters and benefactors has made this such a great place. And I just want to thank everybody for that, and can't wait for next summer.
And I want to commend Kevin and the rest of his committee for being so supportive, along with our fellow commissioners, so supportive of where we're at today. As we all know, we're in the end of the summer beach tourism season, but we're into the Monmouth County tourism season. But now it's the homegrown summer season here for Monmouth County people, and we have a lot to offer. We're standing here today on a farm that has a ton of activities for the youth and the elderly, and for the special needs population, and all those populations. But we have an enormous amount of wineries, breweries. All of it comes with partnerships. And the partnerships are our businesses and our municipalities. And you heard from the mayor here today. And I'm going to bring up one of our true partners. It's a little personal to me why we're here today, and I know for Nick too, here today because we were on the ground floor of helping get this program started. I know that Ross Citra, he has a big, in his private job, has a big initiative here too. And Sue Kiley has been totally supportive of this farm since the day the application started here. So I want to thank each and every one of you. But the good part of it is where we stand today, some of the funding that we gave from our recovery money has made great strides, not just in our business climate, not just in our nonprofits, but where we are today. And I'm going to call up the owners.
Tom was being humble in saying that they played a part in this. Without the support of Monmouth County and Wall Township, we would not be all here today on this beautiful day in this beautiful pavilion. We are grateful so much, our supporters, our board of directors, for all the support you guys have given us. The last building is going up probably this winter, and that will have, right in front of us, we'll have a commercial kitchen. Thanks to the grant money that came in, we'll have a commercial kitchen in there to do culinary arts training with our aged out special needs populations, and we're just so thankful. Ross, over the years with the SPCA, has been so helpful to us and supportive, and so Nick is the one who brought the property to us many years ago when he was the mayor of Wall, and you know, it's just been so humbling, and so we're so grateful. It's an understatement to say we wouldn't be where we are without Monmouth County and Wall Township, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you all. Thank you so much. Just quickly, for those that don't know, our mission here is we first rescue animals. We're a 501c3 New Jersey nonprofit. We rescue animals. I would say 95% of the animals on this property are rescued. And then we use these beautiful rescued animals to work with special needs populations, teens with mental health issues, which, by the way, is off the charts right now. I'm sure you all know. So we're very busy helping our teens and providing stipends for them so that they can build up their self-esteem and work on their anxiety and their depression. And we also work with veterans with PTSD, doing therapeutic riding and driving, and we do special programs for them. So that's kind of our mission in a nutshell. And if there's any one of those areas that people you know or love that could use help, please see me. I remembered to bring some business cards today, and I'd love to help anyone in need. So thank you. God bless you all. And here's my husband.
Thank you, dear. And I want to thank the county and also Wall Township. They have been so supportive in driving the farm to where it is today. We're never, even though it's just a farm, there's a lot of nuances that take place to get to where we are today. And the town and the county have bent over backwards to help us get and moving forward and helping with suggestions and how to move forward. We also, with the culinary, a lot of what we do with the growing and teaching these students, we do it in the greenhouses, we do it. Our goal is to try and get them employable, the special needs students. So the kitchen will also enable us to start making byproducts from what we grow so that we'll be able to make pesto from our basil and different things that we'll be able to sell. The kids love what they're doing here. We also do a program with the county, which is the sushi program that Commissioner Arnone instituted. And what we do is we bring an urban and suburban school together, and these kids would, our pilot year was Colts Neck and Asbury Park. These kids would never see each other for a good reason without being in this program. And you saw the barriers, the Asbury kids on one side, the Colts Neck kids on the other side. By the second week, they're taking bites out of tomatoes and go try this one. And the barriers come down because we're taught how have differences in this world. And when given an opportunity, people can see each other for what they really are. They help each other build gardens in their schools. They have to integrate and work. We do team building. And just to watch the change in these 4th and 5th graders as they move through the season with that. So it's one of the programs I enjoy most here, because you get to see such a quick change in character of young adults. So we want to continue working and doing what we do, and we will continue to need your help. Thank you very much.
When I started this program or brought this to them, it was called sushi, and everybody says, oh, do you have sushi? That's what they do, make sushi. That's not it. It's Suburban Urban School Healthy Initiative, and it's a great program. And yes, we started out with Asbury Park and Colts Neck. We added Neptune City and Spring Lake Heights, and now we've just added a 3rd school in West Belmar this year. So we're continuing, and we bus them here. We bring them here, the students, and it's something that they have to sign up for. It's not something that it's part of their daily. It has to be an after-school program. They have to want to do it. But I will tell you, we might have started the program, Lauren and myself, come here in the beginning, but the actual people that do the work are the Bernies, and they give up their valuable time. And I also want to thank them for what we're seeing back here, this kitchen. On a personal side, along with the support of my commissioners here, as everybody knows, I'm part of a special aged out school that's going up, and that's going to be part of a learning process and a job workforce for the aged out population. And this is going to enhance them, because they're going to be able to come here and learn how to work in kitchens and learn how to serve and learn how, all those other initiatives there that we could put these young adults into the workforce. So it's a real positive thing. We are so supportive of our businesses. We know what it takes to try to help them, but we can't reach everybody, and we need help. And we're very fortunate to have chambers to be able to help us. And today, I have somebody that's very close to myself and to Monmouth County, and worked with them, and that's Evelyn Mars from our local chamber here, and she's going to say a few words on not just the success, but some of the challenges that are occurring. Evelyn?
Thank you, Tom. And I also want to say thank you to Allaire Community Farm. I hold them very near and dear to my heart. I have a child that lives with autism, and we've been here many times and worked with POAC. So what they do here is tremendous, and we're going to continue to be here with them and also look to work together with them in the future for some possible aftercare programs. So thank you, Sean and Joanne. I'm here to represent the over 400 businesses we have in our chamber. And we had a very busy summer. Tourism was over the top, but our businesses struggled. We have businesses that are not only owners, but also parents, and they are exhausted from trying to hold on to employees and work in the atmosphere that we have right now. And if it wasn't for Monmouth County, our commissioners, and creating programs like the CARES Act, which they did a tremendous job of keeping that money in our county that was given directly to our businesses, and our businesses, very heartfelt thanks for doing that for us. The Jersey Shore, busy right now, and we want to keep it busy as we go into the fall. And some of the ways that we wanted to spark economic activity, besides all the great events that we plan through the county in the fall, because it's just so beautiful here, the chamber also had its first annual women's conference. And we hope to spark economic activity in this time of year when we don't have as many tourists. We want to bring them here to us. And we do that with our women's conference, so you don't have to go to Philly, you don't have to go to New York, you don't have to go to Atlantic City. We wanted to bring the conference right here into our own county, and that's what our hopes are, to bring more activity on October 19th and 20th at the beautiful Shore Club in Spring Lake. But again, the businesses that have struggled, and a lot of them are our restaurants, in keeping staff, we need to get more help from the state level, because the county level is just doing an amazing job, and the businesses really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
hear it. Every time we go somewhere, we hear it about what the business is, how they're struggling. And I have to tell you, a lot of it was created by some of the initiatives that the state and our federal government has put down that has made it very difficult for our businesses to operate. The county received 3 rounds of community block grant money, over $7 million from HUD. In round 1, we decided how we wanted to administer that money. Round 1, the county, our commissioners, and myself helped over 72 businesses and 19 nonprofits with over $1.8 million in financial assistance. Because round 1 was funded through HUD, certain areas were not allowed to be in it because they actually receive HUD funding by their municipality. Round 2 was DCA funded, which is a little different. We still make the rules on where that money is distributed. So now it can be in lower income population groups, and it's going to go to the Asbury Park, Long Branch, certain sections of Middletown. These nonprofit organizations also receive money. Micro businesses will receive money. Each applicant may apply up to $20,000 towards reimbursement, to give them a help of reimbursement for eligible expenses, which will include payroll, rent, supplies, machinery, or other equipment, materials needed to operate or maintain a safe work environment for staff and patrons, utilities, employee training, which is key, the employee training part of it, building renovations, rehabilitation, any alterations for the protections of employees and their patrons. We will take the initiative to make sure we market that money and get that out to our business climate. Because at the end of the day, we can bring the people here. We're confident. We have a great group, from our tourism group, from our public information group. We can bring the people here, but we don't want them to get frustrated. And it's very challenging. This past week, I heard from 2 separate restaurants, large restaurants, that said they're struggling. They're struggling big time keeping employees. Obviously, as soon as our college kids went back to college, it became even more difficult. So that's going to be our focus. We talked as a collaborative team to know what area that we're going to focus on, and that's going to be our focus. Up and through the holidays, to focus to make sure that this busy time of the season that all our businesses are well equipped and given the staff. And we'll increase that and we'll change that. So with that, this was a fabulous tourism season. I want to thank the mayor for allowing us always to be a partner here in Wall Township. You know, you're one of our, you make us get elected, because it's the backbone of our towns is the success of the county. And the partnerships with our town is there. And as we go along the shore, from Sandy Hook all the way through Manasquan and Brielle, every one of our beaches, they operate differently. They have different rules and regulations. Different population like to go there, but at the end of the day, they're all successful. So that's what we created. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Know that we today, I promise you this, we are going to enhance and make our tourism department even larger, and probably one of the largest in Monmouth County. And we're really, really excited about what next year is going to bring us. And we're going to be out on the streets, and we're going to make sure that people know Monmouth County is the place to come.